Everyone, it's a new awakening wave today for Global, which means 2 new banners as well to go along with our beatback challenge. I can't speak, which means we get the rerun of Kuja's EX, and that could be awakened. The introduction of Lilinet, I believe her name is. And yeah, the introduction of Lilinet's EX, which can also be awakened. And then the other banner has Zidane with his EX and Lena with her EX. Honestly, Lena, even though she does not have EX Plus right now, I still think is a pretty amazing unit to have. So she might be worth going after. But I'm gonna be making some draws from this banner. I've got about 518 tickets, and I'm looking to pull till I'm down to about 300. So I'm gonna put in about 218 tickets in and just see what I get. I'm hoping I can get either Lily's or Kuja's EX, as I lack both. Well, obviously I lack hers, it hasn't run until now. But I missed Kuja's on his Lost Chapter. And either way, let's go. As always, quick tap bronze spears and silver spears and up get played out. Which is basically a little compromise of I don't want the videos to go on too long, but also keeping some things interesting to watch for people. But I believe Kuja also gets a rework with this Awakening Wave as well, which makes him a lot. That's his 15, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, he becomes a lot more powerful now. And he becomes like a top DPS for just a little while. Not too long though, sadly. It's basically a repeat of he's really strong for like a month, and then someone comes along that just kind of upends him. Which is honestly really sad. Starting gold. Neat. That's a Lily 15, I believe? Yeah, it doesn't have her portrait, so I need that for her, so that's good. Lily, on the other hand, I've heard is really, really good with EX. I think the recommended thing people do with her EX Plus is put it to 1, which is apparently considered the optimal place for it to be at, to be most effective while still keeping as many ingots as you can around. Lily herself being a very interesting character. She's a support character, and basically all of her attacks, sans her regular brave attack, do no actual brave damage. She's pretty much all battery and debuffs on the enemy team. And I think she has a couple auras? I'm not quite sure. I've not actually had mine built up, so... Oh, yeah, another 15 for her. Nice. So I've never actually had the chance to really use her too much. I'm hoping I can come across one of their EXs here. From what I recall, the average for drawing an EX is about 200 tickets, so that should... What is this? Oh, it's a Pelham 15. Alright. So, this amount of tickets I'm putting in should put me into that number, but luck just doesn't always work that way. I've gotten pretty lucky so far. I've got a good chunk of golds already. What I'm really looking for now is Lili 35, because I do not have that. Either EX. Kuja 35 would be nice to get, if just to help save some power stones. Though honestly, this banner's kind of just a throwaway for me. I'd love to get either character, but I'm not super gonna be throwing too many resources into this. Partly because... Is that his EX? That's his EX. Okay. So awesome. Got Kuja EX. Nice. Gonna probably book him later then. But as I was saying, this banner is mostly a throwaway where it doesn't really matter if I get anything, which I already have. Thank you, game, for giving me that Kuja EX. Mostly because I'm going to be saving tickets up for a few other banners. Rosa's Lost Chapter in particular, because she is pretty amazing with her EX Plus from what I've heard. Ooh, a silver. Let's see if this goes gold. Nope. Oh well. I might attempt pulling on the Barrett Lost Chapter. With tickets, though I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to get Tifa EX, because she's one of my favorite Final Fantasy VII characters. I've just not really had the budget to put her in so far. I, for one, am probably going to be skipping Machina's banner, because Machina himself is cool, but he's not really cool enough for me to be throwing resources onto him. And Rem, while she is a fairly effective support, is just not a character I find entertaining to play at all. Which is probably not something I recommend other people. Chaos Era is gonna go over a lot better for people who draw on their supports, so I really don't recommend people take my mindset with that. Of course, go favorites first, but if you want to compete in Chaos Era, you should try to also fit some, not so much meta units, but units you're gonna need to get through. Make sure you have a good set of magic DPS, supports, melee DPS, range DPS, etc., etc. Make sure you have a nice varied roster along with your favorites. Got a gold. Is that a shadow? An off banner. Alright, that's a power stone. I don't believe we've gotten any 35s yet. $35s end up being like the bane of everyone's existence in banners. We have ways to guarantee getting EX. We were practically just shoved the 15 when characters release anymore. And it's like always the 35 that gives the most issues. That can be circumvented a bit by using... Okay, here's another silver. Okay. But as I was saying, that could be circumvented by using power tokens to just buy the 35. Though that would take a decent bit of saving. Like, I should be getting about 50 at the end of the week, which will let me buy a total of 2 if need be. And that took a decent while to get to itself. Alright, that's MLB now. Nice. If the banner can give me her 35, I'll be happy. Not expecting her EX to pop like Kuja's just kind of randomly did. But that would be nice too. Not gonna push my luck. Especially because I'm gonna be pulling on Agrius and Ferris's banner, which is coming up in a few days. And I am lacking both of those EX. I'm gonna be going into that one using multi-pulls, and for some reason, something in my gut is just telling me that's gonna go badly. Another 15? Alright. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that it's the first double EX banner where I'm legitimately trying to go after both EX on the banner rather than just one or the other, but I just got a gut feeling telling me, oh, those are 35. Nice. Something's just telling me that things are going to go badly in that banner. So, that's a off-banner Raijin. Okay. Because a double EX banner has a potential of taking you even over a pity amount if you are really determined to get both EX. My luck has mostly held out for the last while, but it's like I can see the rain clouds coming, where it'll be raining down gems and getting nothing back. which would be unfortunate as Agrius is a very powerful unit from what I've seen of her with EX+. And Ferris, along with being a character I really enjoy in this game. Also gets a really cool animation on her EX. And she's a dispeller as well as a debuffer, which is really useful, I find. Yeah, this banner's coming along nicely, honestly. I've gotten most of what I've wanted off of it so far, and still got about 70, a little under 90 more tickets to go. That's another 15, another Power Stone. I was kind of expecting another one of those pistols to show up. Starting silver. Let's see if something cool pops out of this. It's a gold at least. That's a 35. Believe anyway? Yes. Which means that's 4 less Power Stones I have to spend. That's fantastic. Because Power Stones for me are still at quite a premium. My pulling habits for the first so long of this game, maybe a year and a half, at least up to Sephiroth's first banner, were really atrocious. And even after that, they were pretty bad up until Celis EX banner. I just kind of pulled all over the place, and I didn't do co-ops, I didn't use tickets at all. So my roster is somewhat barren in places. Here's another silver. Let's see what we get. It's a gold. Another 15. I cannot deny I enjoy getting Power Stones, because, like I said, I really need them. $54. Honestly, another 35. I think that should max limit break that as well. So I'd only be spending Power Stones on his EX. Nice. Honestly, if I can get Lili's EX within the next like 50 tickets, I'll be extremely happy. But I am honestly really happy about this so far anyway. Warrior of Light 15? Oh boy, that takes me back. That's my very first 15 outside the Cloud's NT Buster Sword, which I think is actually a 35. But yeah, that was my first actual gold. If I recall correctly, it was between his 15, Vivi's, and Rem's. But yeah, Despite being my first gold, I left my Warrior of Light unused for quite a while. To be completely fair, he didn't perform all that well. And I kind of was biased towards Cloud himself, doing great part to get in his NT Buster Sword, because I had Dissidia NT. Oof. And the fact that Cloud, at that point in the game, had a Brave to HP attack, which I do believe was fairly rare. Being able to do Brave damage and HP damage in the same turn was a huge thing for me, and I imagine a lot of other players at that point in the game. It's honestly kind of interesting to see how far this game has come. That's Palom 35, I believe. Alright. Not a huge fan of him, but nice to start in gold. Come on, something good. 15. But yeah, it is interesting to see how far this game has come and the various changes to the meta as it goes. It's a very offense-based meta at this point. If you're not doing damage each turn, it's oftentimes considered kind of a waste. But apparently in Japan, gold orbs on tickets have been upgraded somewhat, in that they can guarantee an EX or one of the higher versions of weapons that are now existing in the Japanese version, which is really nice, because while it is nice to get a guaranteed gold weapon, it is kind of sad if it comes out like just a 15 or something. Waka. So it's nice that it's actually changed so that it guarantees something really nice comes out of it. As this kind of goes on, it's looking like I made a really good choice in not pumping too many crystals into Lilicette's her name, not Lilinette. Because she shares a crystal type with Ishtola, who is coming up with her EX Plus soon in the story chapter. So I didn't want them fighting against each other too much, because I'm going to 70 out of 70 Ishtola right away. But yeah, it looks like I'm not getting Lily's EX this time around, which is unfortunate. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let me do a quick bit of messing around here. I can sell that. I can combine things off screen. I'm just gonna sell a few silvers to make room. But honestly, this has been kind of an interesting banner. I need to farm money again. Yes, oh yeah, Kuja and Lena both have costumes today as well. So if you have the money for them, and you really like those costumes, they're there for you. I'm not a huge fan of either costume, honestly. I kind of like Lena and her base costume here better. It's another Kuja. Nice. And Kuja's all costume is kind of weird to me, honestly. From what I recall, Lena getting a costume here is actually something that didn't happen until much later in Japan. It's another 15 for Lili. So we're technically getting a costume early here, which has happened a few times before. I think we got Franz early. Garland's was early too. Technically, when we got Garland's costume, Japan didn't even have that yet. But either way, that's down to 300 tickets now, so that's all my pulls for this banner. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing a chaos video or not, because I'm not super sure if I can handle recording the chaos runs at this point still. It takes a lot of resetting for me, and I'm just not really the best with it right now, along with not really having editing software, which makes things even more silly. Either way though, good luck to anyone who's going to be pulling on this banner or the other banner. Like I said, Zidane's not too great, but Lena herself is pretty good. I haven't leveled her to 70 yet, so I don't know how much of an improvement that is to her, but she is still pretty great, in my opinion. I don't think... I have no idea what's gonna happen with Liliset's EX after this, honestly, because I do believe it came back in Japan not too long after this. But I believe what it came back on was something that was a Japan-only thing called Golden Week. So I'm not entirely sure when this will be coming back for us. Otherwise, it's kind of up in the air at this point. I believe Kuja's does come back during that event as well. I'm not sure if the global version will get its own equivalent or something based around something else, or if it's just going to skip it entirely, but who knows. But either way, good luck on anyone drawing either of these. Good luck for anyone who attempts the chaos. I've heard the boss for this a particular wave is pretty tanky. I believe it's a 2-wave fight, and it starts with those those triple ghosts where the one in the center disappears, which can be a little bit of a problem if you don't have a well set up team. But honestly, we'll see how things go. But I've been rambling enough now. See everyone.